Hello and welcome to today's LOL Esports Roundup. We're going to cover the games. One second. Let me move the microphone a bit. Audio's still working. Yeah, it is. Welcome to the video. We're going to cover the games from this morning in the LCK and LPL, preview tomorrow's schedule in both regions as well as the LCS. Reminder, next week I am going to be out of town. The roundup, I'm bringing the microphone. The roundup may be an audio only format with like notepad up or something with me with notes just to talk about and go over the games with you. I will have pre-recorded content. I already have 13.5 video already done. I have a video done that is about, minor regions. I shed some light on that in my members only video. And I think during the power rankings video I might have as well. A minor region video. Then a bunch of prospect videos, I think. I've identified more than a handful of prospects in each role across the 4 major regions that I think statistically look very good. I have not watched any of them play, but I'm going to go over that one day each role, and we're going to kind of just talk about that. So hopefully you guys support that content. I'm going to hopefully do roundups as well. Power rankings and stuff are going to be done also. Definitely will get something up with the power rankings. At the very least, which I'm going to really hope I don't end up damn it, I got an eyelash on my glasses I missed. I want to be able to get the power rankings at the very least up on the Discord, but I really want to get that video out. It's my best performing video. It's the one you guys watch the most. I want to get those videos up. So that's the way things stand next week. Now that the long intro's over where everybody skipped, those that really listen to this, thank you. You're not going to be surprised next week. 201 and 89 on the year. LPL, OMG, and Anyone's Legend. OMG 17th in the power rankings. Those updated yesterday at 6 and 4. Anyone's Legend 2 and 8. OMG win 2-1. Abel was my MVP, going 13, 7, and 20, 32% of damage. I thought in game 3 he really came through in a big way. Cream 10, 4, and 23. He played very well on Silas in games 2 and game 3. And then Pinzy went 7, 11, 17, 28% of damage for Anyone's Legend. A lot of people probably would look at Betty as more of an impact player for Anyone's Legend from this series, but I always pick the player with the most damage output for the most important player on the losing side. That's just kind of what I end up doing. So, game 1, Anyone's Legend definitely did well. Betty on Zeri took advantage of a late game situation. OMG played pretty slow. One of the more slow playing teams in the LPL. I think maybe even the slowest. And with that in mind, playing Zeri into it works out. So they wait until the last minute, and Zeri goes off. I think Betty had a quadra at one point. Top lane matchup was definitely an interesting one. Shanji pulling out his Rumble. And then we had, I believe, our second set sighting of the year in top lane for ZDZ. And it had some results. I thought in team fights, there were moments where ZDZ really came through big, and other times where I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, this is what we came up with. So that happened in game 2. I thought that Cream, it's kind of interesting. Cream in game 3 pulls out the Mejai's and he like stacks out of his mind, and I want to say it almost like 700 AP or something. And you know, game 2 I thought he was more impactful, which is definitely something to think about. On the Silas. The Yone in game 1 was okay at times, and other times I really was left scratching my head. As far as Abel is concerned, though, I thought Abel did very well in all 3 games, really. The bot lane for OMG really coming through. Anyone's Legend. I mean, the bot side of the Rift was helpful, but I thought Zhao Hao was outclassed by Aki. Aki in game 1 and game 2, I think he had a Wukong in both, and those were very good Wukong games. Game 3, not as great, which kind of made me hold back on MVP, but I did give it some thought, which I'm surprised even that came to fruition. Despite OMG losing game 1, I thought Aki was fine, and then in game 2, Aki did pretty well. So, OMG taking care of business against anyone's legend despite dropping the first game. Just one of those Zeri thing situations. I think Abel even played Zeri in game 3 when he did well, and maybe a Phalios in game 2, so it was one of them Zeri series. Afterwards, we had Ultra Prime at 3-8 against World Elite 4-7. We win 2-0. Hope was my MVP. Shanks won 11, 2-14 in mid with 29% of the team's damage. Played Rise in game 2. Game 1 escapes me when it comes to what he picked. Bew 6-0-16 did not die. His Renekton was very good. Ching 2-7-1, 27% damage for Ultra Prime. Ning went 0-14-6 in this series, dying 8 times in game 2 on Maokai. Hang going like a stat line of 706 sticks out to me towards the end of the game. I don't know if he ended there, but Hang's was on a Lee Sin and absolutely gapped Ning in game 2. It was quite interesting, really, because you think about it. Hang, a rookie against Ning, who is considered to be one of the better junglers, in the last several years in the LPL. He was able to actually, perform at the highest level. He's performed against the best is pretty much what I'm trying to say, but yet couldn't perform against Hang, which was definitely interesting. You look at top lane, Harry struggling into Bew. That's why Bew didn't die. Shanks, bot lane, Hope and Iwandi. Hope was very good on the Aphelios. I thought that he really made some things happen. Iwandi did a lot of work as well. Ultra Prime really have nothing going for themselves. I think Doggo and Baolan are pretty much done. I think the team is pretty much done as is. The 2 rookie solo laners, Ching's got 2 pentakills this year, but other times it's just kind of like meh, which is, he's a rookie. What are you going to do? But at the same time, it's just not, it's not going well for Ultra Prime. It really isn't. I think they're grading out as the worst LPL team right now, based on quite a few metrics, despite their record being, not the worst. LCK, Nongshim and KDF. Nongshim 1-13, KDF 3-11. KDF went 2-1. Taeyun ends up being MVP. Had a tough time picking him, but I thought his Xayah performance was very good. Bulldog 11-6-15, 29% of damage. Moham 1-4-25. Vital 5-6-17, 30% of damage for Nongshim. There was a moment where Nongshim did well in the bot lane, I think in the 2v2 within a vacuum. That made me kind of pause a bit with KDF's bot lane as MVP status. Because I was like, well, in a vacuum, you guys lost. But at the same time, Taeyun, I thought, really made some great things happen on the Xayah in team fights. He actually looked really good. This was one of Taeyun's better series. Bulldog on the Gragas looked very good. On the Talia, looked good as well. I think he played Talia twice. Young Jay, drawing a little bit of criticism in the Discord, but I think Young Jay has been okay with KDF. Given the fact that it's all a bunch of players that really had no name for themselves, especially last year, Dudu being the only player that actually was playing a significant amount of time. I think that Young Jay's doing okay. KDF grade out to be actually really good team. They're like a tier 3 team or something, alongside like G2, FlyQuest, HLE, and stuff. Like, they're very, very competitive, despite the record being the way it is. It's like a team that you really have to respect when you play them. Nongshim, like I said, the bot lane did work at times. That's why Vital ends up being MVP. However, Peter had under 100 damage per minute. I understand that the support's not supposed to be dealing a lot of damage, but 97 is pretty bad when you think about it. That. Din a solo kill Dudu at one point, so Din, I think he has like 10 solo kills or something this year, which is higher up there in the LCK. Not a lot else really going on with this one. I thought KDF, I expected KDF to win. I thought it was going to be 2-0, ends up being 2-1. Today I went 4-0 in my predictions. I think I had a 2-0, 2-1, 2-0, and then 2-1, and this one ended up being 2-1. Or 2-0 and whatever. I got 1 bonus point on the Discord. KT, 4th in the power rankings, 9-5. HLE, 15th at 9-5. Last time these two teams played, KT would win, and not only win, but I think HLE only had 2 kills total in that series. So, the bar was set at the floor when it came to HLE doing better. And Cuz ends up being MVP. I thought he played 2 great Viego games in Game 1 and Game 2. And then in Game 3, came through multiple times, stealing objectives when really he had no business taking them. Clid, once again, looking like Clid of earlier in the split, which is a concern. Aiming 9-3-13, 28% of damage at 80 carry. Cuz 11-3-20. I guess I didn't have to write his name down twice. Zeka 5-10-7 for 40% of HLE's damage. Zeka getting picked off once in Game 2, sticking out to me by aiming in the latter stages of the game. Really, frankly, HLE lost all 3 games. This is a situation where Game 2 came down to a final team fight at Elder, where HLE won the fight, which matters, right? In fairness, they were in a position where they could win that fight. Now, KT throw the fight and they lose. But HLE actually, when you look at the gold graph, HLE never had a gold lead in that game at all from minute 1 to the end. Does gold mean everything? No, but at the same time, it's like you really had no business winning this game. But they were in position at the final team fight to get it done. Viper coming through and doing some work when it came down to it. As far as the other 2 games are concerned, though, even Game 2 for that matter with Cuz, his Viego got the team ahead. He looked very good on it. BDD, not as great as I would have liked in this series. I thought that he did some things in Game 3, but Game 3, he almost threw as well. HLE plays a very slow game, right? So there's not a lot of kill opportunities, so picking Draven is always awkward. Viper played Samira in Game 2 as well, which came through in the final team fight. I might have said Xayah earlier, but I think he played Xayah in Game 1. Regardless, the Draven was Game 3, and this sticks out to me. So HLE plays a very passive style, and that's what helped them get some wins lately. But when you have Viper on Draven, you're flipping a coin. Frankly, in my opinion, anytime you pick Draven, you're flipping a coin. Because if you don't get a kill until 25, 30 minutes, sure, stacks and all that, and you will get a gold influx, a massive one at that point. But your Draven isn't useless, but at the same time, it's a Draven without kills, right? So for Viper to go like 30 minutes without a kill, allowing KT to get to soul, like take the soul and all that, like it's not a good look. In the way you're playing, because you play so passively, there won't be a lot of opportunities for Viper to get kills. And if it wasn't for a BDD being reckless and like trying to shuffle into the base of HLE when they're trying to siege top lane to result in himself dying to Viper, Viper probably doesn't get a kill, and the game probably ends there. You don't have another fight where where KT need to win at Elder, similar to Game 2, to win. It was just a very bizarre situation out of BDD there, and HLE probably shouldn't be picking Draven. I don't think that that's something you should do, playing the style they are. But it was a 2-1. HLE had a chance to coin flip 2 Elder fights in Game 2 and Game 3 to win, and couldn't get it done in Game 3. Sneak peek for tomorrow, LPL, EDG and LGD. EDG second in my power rankings at 9-2, LGD 4-7. EDG coming off of a win against Weibo, LGD coming off of an upset win against BLG. Last time these 2 teams played was in summer. EDG would win 2-0. Only 3 of the 10 players from that series start tomorrow. Mako for EDG, and then Haichao and Jin Zhao played for LGD. Ale and Zhaozhu are the 2 players that are highlighted, the top lane matchup on the Discord. They have not played each other, or they didn't play each other the last time these 2 teams met. EDG with Flandre, Ale was on LNG, and Zhaozhu was in the LDL, I guess. He's a rookie, so that's the deal there. Thunder Talk and JDG. Thunder Talk 23rd in the power rankings at 7-4. JDG 8-3, 6th in the power rankings. JDG coming off of a upset loss to OMG. Thunder Talk coming off of a win against Rare Atom. In week 4 of summer, JDG would win 2-0. Half the starters from that series start tomorrow. The bot lane matchup was highlighted. Wanfeng and Yao Yao. In week 4, Yao Yao still had not gotten an opportunity with Thunder Talk. At the time, they were going with Puff and Southwind last year. Wanfeng was with Weibo. Ruler and Missing. Obviously, Ruler was with Gen G, but Missing was with JDG. Missing would go 2-3-25, playing Yumi in both games with 16% of the team's damage. LCK, Sandbox, and Gen G, probably the matchup of the day. Sandbox 12th in the power rankings at 8-6. Gen G 7th at 10-4. Gen G coming off of a win against Bro. Sandbox coming off of a loss to KT. Week 3 of the split, Gen G would win 2-0. The bot lane matchup is highlighted. Oh, sorry, Gen G won 2-1. Pays and Delight would go 21, 11, and 50 combined for 39% of their team's damage. Envy and Cal would go 13, 15, and 39 for 43% of Sandbox's damage. T1 and DRX. T1 first in the power rankings at 13-1. DRX 3-11. DRX come off of a win against Nongshim. T1 a win against Bro. In week 4, T1 would win 2-0 against DRX. Zeus went 8-2-6 for 24% of the team's damage in top lane. Rascal 2-9-2 for 20% of DRX's damage. So not a great series from Rascal. He probably wants to play a little bit better. Then again, DRX are pretty much dead this year. Well, at least this split, as far as I'm concerned. LCS, FlyQuest, and TL. FlyQuest 11-2, 11th in the power rankings. TL 5-8. TL coming off of a loss to TSM. FlyQuest coming off of a loss against EG. They played opening day. FlyQuest would win. In the jungle, Spica went 4-8 on a Maokai for 22% of the team's damage. Pioshik 1-5-4 on a Vi for 11% of TL's damage. TL need to start getting wins. FlyQuest need to get back on the right track. Golden Guardians and 100 Thieves, GG 8-5. GG 8-5. 100 Thieves 5-8. Last week on Sunday, Golden Guardians beat Immortals. 100 Thieves lost to CLG. In week 4, Golden Guardians would beat 100 Thieves. The bot lane matchup, Stixay went 6-3-11 for 43% of Golden Guardians' damage. Doublelift and Bucio would go 5-6-7 for 41% of 100 Thieves' damage. After that, deep breath. After that, EG and C9. So 2 teams in the top 25. EG 9-4 coming off of a win against Fly. C9 10-3 coming off of a win against Dig. The last time they played was week 3. EG would win. Jojo Pune 6-1-3, 34% of damage on a Tristana. Eminez on the other side has not played against Jojo Pune. Eminez being subbed in for the second half of the split after Diplex played the first half. So C9 actually have a totally different look now as far as the mid jungle is concerned because Eminez is so aggressive. He's a very different player from Diplex. Listening to Sven talk about it, it kind of confirms the thoughts that people had, not about toxicity, but about not being a demanding player, but he expects different things. And where Diplex is a little more passive. TSM and Immortals, TSM 6-7, Immortals 3-10. Immortals lost to Golden Guardians, TSM beat TL. Opening day, TSM would win. Maple went 3-6 for 30% of TSM's damage on Talia. Balulu now playing, and for the rest of the split is playing. For Immortals, was not in at that time. A Blaze Olive was. CLG and Dignitas will finish us off. CLG 7-6, Dig 1-12. Last week, CLG beat 100 Thieves. Dig lost to C9. On opening day, CLG would win. Luger and Poom went 4-1-7 for 32% combined of CLG's damage. That game, Dokla actually led the team in damage with almost the same amount at 29% as the bot lane combined. However, Dignitas do not have the same bot lane. Dignitas going with Tomo Ignar now. At that time, they had, not Neo, they had Spawn and Biofrost. So a different look in the bot lane. Tomo has played very well, in my opinion, since being called up, and I was calling for it for a while, Balulu as well, so I feel a little validated in these small sample sizes that these two teams in the basement. Now, Immortals might not have made the move if Ablaze Olive hadn't taken a step back, and I hope Ablaze Olive works out his mental health or whatever he's got going on. But the move should have been made. So it's a good move in terms of improvement of the starting five. So that's it for the roundup. If you liked the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a supporter, and thank you for watching.